everyone. Welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And it's me, Banshee, with my Material Matters segment. Your weekly keys to success in business, education, and finance. And that is your weekly tarot keys to success. So I hope everybody is doing well. We've still got these turbulent times, but hey, a stimulus is coming, I hear. So that's good news for many of us who need it. And because it's Women's History Month in the U.S., I'm going to read a card for the collective from the Goddess Inspiration Oracle by Chris Waldher. Get a little woman's wisdom going today. One more shuffle, and we're good to go. All right. As you can see, I'm wearing my St. Patty's Day attire already, getting in the spirit of spring. All right. Let's see what we have. Wow. Well, this is kind of an interesting one for us in the material world. It is Maya, and it's the maker, it says on the bottom. To bloom, find a way to embrace the magic around you. So let's put that right over here. And let me grab that. Let's see what the wisdom of Maya has for us in the business world. The maker. Wow, how ironic. Renewal, spring, magic. I do believe spring is a magical season myself. The name of Maya, the Greek goddess of spring and rebirth, means the maker. Every spring, this goddess is believed to make the grass and flowers grow again. She is also praised as the grandmother of magic because her son, the god Hermes, discovered that mysterious art. Shy Maya was said to live alone in a cave on Mount Selene in Arcadia. Though she led a humble life, she did not escape notice. The god Zeus observed Maya's extraordinary beauty and came to her one night. From this nocturnal encounter, Maya conceived Hermes. As soon as he was born, Maya immediately knew her son was a genius. While still a baby, Hermes created the first lyre by stretching strings across a tortoise shell and the first panpipe from marsh reeds. Besides being the first magician, Hermes is credited with the invention of medicine, astrology, and letters. To bloom, find a way to embrace the magic around you. Wow. Well, you know what? We got to make things happen this spring, everybody. So that will start us off. And remember, we're doing the elemental signs of the Zodiac today. This will be from the week of March 7th through 13th. And the moon is going from Capricorn to Aries, Pisces, or Pisces, Aries, I should say. It's going to go into Aries later in the day. And therefore, I believe the new moon, I think, is going to be in Pisces, not Aries. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm sure people on Twitter, etc., will have the answers to that. All right, so that's what's going on. Kind of a quiet astrological week in a lot of ways. So we're going to get started with our air signs. And of course, air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you for the week ahead. Last week seemed to be a challenging week for material matters in my card readings, so I'm hoping for better things for all of us this week. Let's see what we get. Okay, air signs. Your focus for the week ahead. Aww. It's the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups upright. Woohoo. Bring in the joy and happiness and togetherness. Seems like a lot of harmony, a lot of working together, constructively on goals and desires and achievement. It just seems like an ending, maybe in sight for something that you're working on. Okay, so how best can you prepare for that focus? Well, we got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is reversed, however. So I think we have to think of ways to begin things this week. Things might have been stagnating from the previous week. We all had some issues materially last week, and maybe there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm to get things going. But now's the time to really put your heart into it, This is the time to make things happen as far as your goals are concerned. So really, you got to be motivated, and your heart's got to be in it. Got to be all in. So what about people this week? Will there be problems, issues? Will they be cooperative or conflict? Oh dear, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Now, that could indicate to me that some people are having some difficult times, and you might be navigating some dramas. There might be some, also it might be that you're trying to connect with people, but it's not happening, like the timing is off. People forgot they had meetings or previous engagements. You've had to rearrange appointments. It looks like there's a little bit of delay and problems connecting, with people this week. It's a timing thing, I think, with the wheel where it's at. So will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for you air signs this week? I think things are going to move. There's the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is reversed. It seems like by week's end, you're going to make some important decisions finally that maybe you've been putting off a while, and maybe it has something to do with finally moving towards achieving a goal that you wanted. So let's take a look at this again, air signs. We've got the Ten of Cups here as your focus, which you're focusing on how to get to the culmination of things, how to get to your heart's desire, your goals, your dreams, objectives for the week ahead, and how everybody needs to be working in harmony, and seems to be, so far as it goes here, as far as your focus goes. But we'll get back to that in a minute. So how best to prepare for that focus? I think it's by getting all in. Your heart has to be into it this week. If you want to achieve some goals, whether it's in school, whether it's on the job, whether it's with investments, whatever the case may be, your heart has to be all into it. You have to be enthusiastic and motivated to get going. And this week, you might have a little bit of problem connecting with others, So I'm not going to say you have to go it alone, but you might have to be a little patient, because it looks as though there might be some delays. There might be some appointments that get rearranged, meetings that get canceled abruptly, things like that, little annoyances like that when dealing with others this week. But ultimately, by week's end, you're making a decision towards, I believe, this path of success here. So I feel that, people may not be as on page as you might need them to be, but they're not against you. They're working with you here. I think the Ten of Cups is showing that harmony. It's just that something's not clicking. Timing is off, synchronicity is off. So, it might just take a little bit of doing to get to this end result. But by week's end, some important decisions are going to occur. So that's what I have for you, air signs. Good luck with that. Hey, fire signs, it's our turn. And it's almost our birthday season. I'm already all in on that. At least for us Aries, that is. Sorry, other fire signs. Your birthday season will come. So it's for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This reading is for you. Your focus for the week ahead, fire signs. It's not so bad. It's a Four of Pentacles here, It's good sometimes to, although I don't feel like it this week, it's sometimes good to hold on to our resources, It's a time to maybe reevaluate, reassess, and really appreciate what we have and how best to shelter that nest egg of ours, to make sure we have something for a rainy day, or need I say, a car repair that could be coming up. So, whatever the case may be, this may be a time to hold tight to some resources and make sure you have some set aside. And how best can you prepare for that focus? Well, here we go. It's Temperance reversed, fire signs. So you know what that means? That means that we need to temper ourselves, temper our spending habits, and try to get back on track, and make sure that we're doing what we need to do to protect our resources. So what about people this week? Helpful or hurtful this week? Well, I can tell you one thing, probably family is not to be relied on. For some of us who might have been looking for maybe some extra help with tuition, or, some money from, or something, support from families, it might be difficult to come by this week, They just might be a little bit strapped themselves. But also for those of us in the work world, coworkers and things, they're going to be kind of, how should I say, not in the team spirit, so you might have to kind of work around them. So ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement for us fire signs, or no movement at all? Well, we got the Two of Cups reversed here. So I think, there's going to be not a lot of forward movement. There might be a little bit of backward movement, but what I really think it is, if you are counting on the support of others in some way, whether, to create a partnership, to borrow money, like from family, like I said, things of that nature, I feel like it's not going to work out. I think people are not going to be all in. And I think that's where the problem lies for us this week, fire signs. Anything you're going to do, you're going to have to do, kind of on your own. And so maybe this is a good week in retrospect then, and maybe that is why we have this card in the beginning here for the focus card, the Four of Pentacles. We need to hold back a little bit. We need to hold on to our resources and maybe a little bit of our energy, and not put out too much there if other people are not reciprocating, if you know what I mean. And so how best to support that focus is by tempering your behavior, monitoring your spending, looking at your bills, making sure you're paying what's important. Don't count on family for a bailout this week. Also in the business world, if you're looking for loans or somebody to partner with, may not happen, as also indicated by that last card. So hold on to resources this week and you'll get through the week, but don't count on others to be able to be there to support you if you need a helping hand. So that's what I have for you fire signs this week. Oh boy, good luck with that. All right. And it's time for my customary drink for the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This reading is for you. All right. I see a cat hair on my cards. Okay, water signs, your focus for the week ahead. It's Five of Swords, reversed. I don't know, this is kind of a card that me and Mr. O talk about a lot. Sometimes we look at that card as a no-win situation. And I think that might be the case this week, that what? Yeah, no win? Yeah. No matter what you do, it seems like there's things working against you this week right from the get-go. And maybe your focus is on figuring out why it has to be this way. So let's see what this card has to offer there too. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed, water signs. I think How best to prepare for this focus is to make sure you are doing your fair share of the work and that you're not just going through the motions here, that you're really putting effort into it, because otherwise maybe this is why things are not working out. And what about people this week? Will they be helpful? Will they not? This is an interesting card because I could look at this card both ways considering what I see going on here. And I'm really more intuitively thinking that in this case, people want to bail on you this week. I feel like people kind of want to move away and liberate themselves from what they feel is a negative situation. And I think I'm going to go back into this when we get to the summation. There's a reason I said that. So, interestingly enough, will there be forward or backward movement or none at all for you? And you have the 5 of Cups upright. So what does that say? So that says that, you are looking at some losses here. And you're looking at some things that that have not worked out. And I almost think it harkens back to that card, so we're going to tie it all together. But you're looking at some losses, some things did not work out. You don't realize, though, there's something left here to build from. So all is not lost for you this week, water signs, even though it may seem like that. So let's go through this again, because boy, does this fit in an interesting package for me. I feel like the 5 of Swords is saying you're kind of in a no-win situation this week. Either I have the feeling others feel like you've left them holding the bag in some way, that you haven't been doing your fair share, like they feel like they've been doing more, and therefore they're thinking of bailing on you. They're kind of letting you, hey, you think you can handle this? Go ahead. Do it on your own. Do it without our help. And so they're kind of walking away. And ultimately, that leaves you looking at these losses and pondering why. Why? But also not realizing that, for example, there may be a couple people who have decided to stick around and help you out of this mess that you may have created for yourself. Or, that you still have something to build on here. You definitely will have some lessons to build on here. So, pay attention to everything that's going on this week, water signs. It's going to be kind of a heady week for you. Good luck with that. Hey, we're on the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This will be for you. Well, it starts off wonderfully. Hey, Earth signs, look at that. You've got the world. Speaking of Earth, you start with the world at your feet here. So I feel that, wow, it's almost as if something has just ended. Maybe you're ready to start a new adventure at the beginning of this week, or by week's end, you're going to achieve, you are working on achieving a culmination, either the end of a project, the end of a sale, the end of a major signing of papers for investments. Maybe some people are working on wills and different things like that. So it looks good. It looks like a very, very good start. And also to back that up, the best way to prepare for that focus, I feel for you, the 7 of Wands upright is saying to stay on top of things, be on top of things. You seem to be. And that's why you have a good chance of achieving, this finale, so to speak. So what about people this week? Will they be cooperative or uncooperative? We've got the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is reversed. I feel that they are like coming alive. they're waking up here. You know, if you've been feeling like things have been really sluggish lately or going slowly, you know, especially with your employees and stuff, it's like, wow, you know, all of a sudden back to work, you know, back to what matters, back to getting things done, back to getting help and teamwork. It all looks very, very positive. So, on that note, why do we have this ending? So ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for you in the week ahead? Yikes, it's the Ten of Swords. It's a very peculiar card considering all the positivity I have here. But I feel as though at week's end, some situation is going to turn out to be a real letdown for you, you know, and it's going to kind of cut you, you know. This may come from people around you, you know, as opposed to something that you yourself have done. But I always draw people's attention on that card to the band of sunlight that is showing up behind this poor person with the swords in their back, meaning that the worst is going to be over. Once you get to the week's end, you know, it'll all be behind you. So let's take a look at this in retrospect and see what might be going on here. The world indicates that you are working towards completion. You want something to be completed and to be done with. And here in the how you can best prepare for that focus to make sure you stay on top of things. So now I'm thinking, as I look at this card, that maybe also the thing you need to stay on top of is how others are interacting with your project or your work or the papers that you need signed. You know, follow up with people and make sure they're on the same page as you and they're not going off on some tangent that will hurt you. Or even, you know, whether it's deliberate or whether it's accidental, you know, them being careless. Just make sure you are on top of things. Because here we have people willing to help you. It seems as though they're trying to do their best to shake off the doldrums and get back to working on stuff. But ultimately something goes wrong at week's end. And it's almost like, you know, I never look at this card as necessarily a card of self-sabotage. This is really more, you know, coming from without. And I feel that somehow, some way, something is undermining the progress you were hoping to achieve by week's end. But the good news is that once that happens, it's done. And you'll be able to move on from there, Earth signs. So, crazy week for you guys, I have to say. Hey, everybody. Don't forget, every Friday is Mr. O's Emotional Exchanges program. It airs at 10 a.m. It drops on YouTube. Check it out so you can be ready for all the emotional things you will be encountering in your week ahead. And also don't forget his Wednesday Goth Tarot program. And we're just going to keep rolling out the material and new videos and stuff this month. So stay tuned. And hopefully I will see you next week. Same time, same place. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.